It's been a few days since Mom and Yuri met in person. I've been on cloud nine ever since. It's amazing how happiness and bliss can literally transport you to another world. With the ringing of the bells signaling the end of the final lesson, I eagerly jumped to my feet. White day is upon us, and I wanted to give Yuri my gift ever since I woke up. I make my way over to Yuri's classroom after I take out my gift. It's not quite as fancy as the chocolate she gave me, but I'm hoping she'll appreciate the thought all the same. But what is it though? Eventually I spot her in the throng of students emerging from her classroom. With a smile and a wave, she makes her way over to me. Reaching out, I gently clasp her hand in mine, which predictably causes her to blush. Given that it's White Day, I'm feeling a bit more daring. And again, public display of affection is kind of a no-no in the school, right? I've waited all day to give you these. I'm practically bouncing on my feet. It's so cute. She giggles slightly, covering her... I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be the other way around. Covering her mouth with her hand. My, someone is rather excited. She takes the gift back from my hands, her smile grows wider and more heartfelt. I didn't want to give you these to you at lunch. Kinda felt like the reward would be better if I waited until the end of the day, you know? But what is it though? Well, they do say good things come to those who wait. My Midas! This looks incredible! Inside is a White Day cake I picked out for her. That's sweet of us. The cake was Mom's idea, and given its elegant design, I was definitely not complaining. She was convinced that Yuri would love it, and based on Yuri's reaction, it's safe to say that motherly instincts are pretty accurate. Thank you! I really appreciate this. But you didn't have to get this for me, silly. Not that I appreciate your gift. Oh, I know I didn't have to. But I wanted to. I leaned forward and fell up. No. We're in the corridor. I just hope someone doesn't catch us. I leaned forward and planned a kiss directly on her lips. Her eyes widened as I quickly pull away, grinning. You do know how to fluster me, do you? That's what I do. Happy White Day, Yuri. The red blush on Yuri's cheeks made the wait 100% worth it. Come on. Exam revision can wait for one evening. Spend the rest of the night with me. How could I say no? After swinging the door open, I call out for Mom. Mom. No reply. Is she out? There's a note here, Midas. It says that she's gone out to town to see some friends. She'll be back later in the evening, and you should call her if there's anything we need. So we're home alone. Yes, it would seem that way. What should we do? Oh, well... She starts fidgeting. Why is it suddenly gone really awkward? Maybe it's because of Valentine's Day, I'm guessing. Oh! I really need to think about things before I speak. I didn't mean... It's okay. Would you like to make a bento with me? If I recall, you seemed to really enjoy my bento when you shared with Natsuki. Relieved that the topic changed, I eagerly jumped at her suggestion. Yeah, sounds good. Mom did a lot of food shopping yesterday and then she made bento boxes before, so I'm fairly sure she'll have the ingredients. What do you think of putting in it? We should decide that once we see what ingredients we have at our disposal. Yeah, good point. Start rummaging through the cabinets. Well, more like I rummage. Yuri looks a little hesitant, really unsure if it's her place to be rifling through my kitchen. Do you have anything in mind? Mine are usually quite simple. Rice or noodles, some kind of protein, and cooked vegetables. Standard home-cooked affair, you know? And given that it's White Day, how about you cook something a bit more extravagant for it? What are you thinking? Do you know how to make sushi? No, but I'm willing to try for the end result. Alright then. We could make some other side dishes using vegetables like soybeans too. For the sushi itself, fish will do nicely. But if you don't have any, we can make use with an alternative. I ducked my head out of the fridge and turned to Yuri with an amused expression on my face. You can look with me, you know. It's your house as much as it's mine, haha. Alright, of course. With her help, we're quickly able to find and identify the appropriate ingredients and soon begin preparing the meal. Okay, so after you finish chopping all that, you can add the water in the pot and turn up the heat until it's boiling. Then turn it back down to medium. Don't forget to add the seasonings to the water too. And I have to chop all of these vegetables, right? Yes, the lotus root, carrots, white radish, and mushrooms. Now obviously you don't have to chop the soybeans and konbu. Got it. In the meantime, I'll get started on the rice. You both get to work and soon the smell of a delicious meal starts wafting off through the kitchen. Thankfully, the meal isn't particularly difficult to prepare, so we were able to talk about other things while we were preparing it. I don't think Mom would believe her eyes if she saw what I was doing right now. I feel kind of bad. We should have waited for Mom. The cooking? Yeah, but not just that. I don't think she'd ever have expected that my first girlfriend would have taught me how to make delicious meals like this. And that's a very poor choice of words. First girl called it. No, Yuri. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean like. Way to go, Midas. The silence is proving to be excruciatingly awkward. Well, it was just a stupid choice of words. Anyway, I guess it's a pleasant surprise for her, haha. I've always been a lazy cook. You could even call me one. Well, there's no better time to learn than the present. And otherwise, bit of insight from you, haha. She smiles slightly, but I can tell that what I just said is still playing on her mind. How wouldn't it play on her mind? That's kind of poor from us. Did I really mess up that badly? I wasn't trying to say that we won't last. Either way, I'm not really a fan of how quiet she suddenly became. But hey, at least Mom really likes you at least. Do you think your parents would like me? And yet another poor choice of words from us. Don't say at least. Midas, would you mind spooning the cooked rice into a bowl? See? She's trying to avoid the conversation. Sure thing. I do as she requests, awaiting her next command. Next, you want to stir the rice, vinegar, and sugar until they dissolve. Then mix it into the cooled rice. And done. Okay, now I'll deal with the nori sheet. She starts with the sushi preparations. Delicacy and precision in every movement. Yes, I certainly think they would have approved of you, Midas. Although I think they may have been a little surprised. No doubt expecting my boyfriend to be more of a reader, at least before we started dating. I remember my father used to joke that boys may break your heart, but books will always be there for you. That little quip always makes me smile, haha. Is that the kind of humor you like? Neither of my parents were sarcastic, so sarcasm is quickly lost on me, as I'm sure you've noticed. Surprised you're dating me then. You know how snarky I can be. Funnily enough, it's one of the things I appreciate about you the most. Really? But you said you didn't really get sarcasm. I didn't, at least initially, but being around you has given me more of an insight into the new style of humor, which I enjoy. Much like literature, there's a variety in humor. You have a knack for making me laugh, don't you forget. I'm glad that my comedy genius has finally been recognized. See what I mean? Anyway, I think we're ready to mix the mackerel with the mayonnaise and spring onion. We're gonna use black pepper for seasoning, right? Yes, we are. You're learning quickly. Happens when you learn from the best. I swiftly planned another kiss, this time on Yuri's forehead. I don't know why I'm feeling especially affectionate today. Must be wiping. But damn, is it enjoyable. I mean, who wouldn't want to be affectionate with their girlfriend? An hour or so later, we're both digging into our meal. It's a shame Mom wasn't around to see us make a dish together. Maybe then she'd believe me. It suggests your food does taste a lot better when you've made it yourself. Well, it feels kind of rewarding, so I guess that's that. Most definitely. It's something I've come to appreciate. Maybe I could teach Sayori one day. Her diet is probably worse than mine. Speaking of Sayori, what did you two get up to? On the day we hung out? Yuri nods. Went down memory lane, I guess. Both literally and And figuratively, haha. We went to the park where we first met. Talked about life, I guess. I'm glad I got to apologize to her though. That guilt has been hanging over me for some time. I assume she was rather forgiving. Yeah, of course. Told me not to worry about abandoning her. And that's given that I'd spend more time with you. She was happy that I'm back in her life, and she gets to see me in school and stuff. Hearing her words helped me out, but I don't know. I still feel a little guilty. It's completely normal, Midas. The most important thing is to remember that she doesn't hold anything against you, and that you two are still good friends. There's plenty of time to be able to spend time with her again. After all, you both enjoyed each other's company, did you not? Yeah, we did. Even though our friendship isn't exactly the way how it used to be, we were still able to get along like nothing had really happened. Playful teasing, shared nostalgia. She really makes you happy, doesn't she? And judging by the look on your face, where are you getting at, Yuri? I nod. I don't think I'll ever meet someone with such a strong, carefree, bubbly persona. Wait. We shouldn't really say this to Yuri. Especially since she's jealous of Sayori. You always look exuberant around her. No. Do I? Yes, you do. Perhaps it's buried in your subconscious. Well, I guess I do have fun hanging out with her. It's nice to be around someone that doesn't take things that serious. That's very, very poor of us. I can just chill with her and joke about random stuff. She's gotten really good at being able to cheer me up too. More and more I feel like something's gonna happen. I see. I mean, how could someone who's always smiling not cheer you up? And that's probably the final nail in the coffin. Probably activates mirror neurons or something. The way Sayori's laugh can be so infectious. You get what I mean? Yeah. I knew it. Where's this sudden dramatic tension coming from? Is everything okay, Yuri? You seem kinda off. Midas, you're usually quite in tune with others' feelings, but sometimes you can be extremely tense. Dense is an understatement considering I kind of predicted this guy would happen, considering our word choice. Which is, to be fair, very poor from us. Jeez, I never claimed that I could read people's minds. Anyway, what's with this sudden change of tone? I thought we were having a great time cooking. You always grin so broadly when you're with Sayori. Is she even listening to me? Like I said before, I do. I don't notice. If I do, I don't notice it. Well, even if you don't notice yourself, other people can. If you contrast it with how you act around me, there's a marked difference. What does that mean? Well, off the top of my head, I kiss and cuddle with you. That's something I shouldn't be doing around other people, right? I reach to pull Yuri into a hug, but she shies away from me. Judging by the dramatic music, I don't like where this is going. Yuri? You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? I suppose it's so ingrained in you that you won't notice unless I outright say it. If I'm supposed to leave this tense, then feel free to enlighten me on the matter. I know that I shouldn't be getting sarcastic with her, but I can't help feeling more and more irritated as this conversation continues. You always look your happiest when you're with Sayori. Even when you just talk about her, or think about your past with her. But I don't know about happiest, but she is my childhood friend. It's natural to feel happy when I think about someone I've known for years and years, isn't it? It's just as I suspected. What were you suspecting then? Huh? She makes you happier than I do, doesn't she? Oh, my mind is spinning. How did we go from making food together and sharing kisses to this? Yuri, we spoke about this. Where's this coming from? She doesn't reply, instead opting to fiddle with her sleeves. Come on, Yuri. Talk to me. If you spoke about this before, then why don't you understand why I'm upset? Just because you know why you're upset doesn't mean that I know. Can't you just tell me what's wrong? I don't understand how you can analyze books so extensively but remain blind when it comes to things like this. I really don't want to play the blame game, but... Look, I think I get that you might be feeling a little jealous. I mean, you just explicitly compared yourself to her. But I don't get why you're suddenly this upset when we've been having such a nice time. You realize that you were talking at length about how you feel about Sayori. And on our white date night, no less. You started the conversation about her, though. I was immediately curious about what you did with her in the beginning, but I didn't mean for it to spawn an entire conversation about how you felt towards Sayori. After a while, I was only engaging the conversation with you to be polite. I didn't want to just ignore what you said about her. I suppose it was just too much to expect from you to be more tactful about it. Again, I'm not a mind reader. How am I supposed to know when you're upset when you rarely explicitly express it? Maybe because she has a hard time expressing herself, and shouldn't you know that by now? Why can't you just tell me things? I'm guessing that you don't have these kinds of arguments with Sayori. Of course not, because I'm not dating her. Okay, to be fair with Midas, that's actually a very good point. Couples that don't fight are usually lying to each other. Are you sure this is just about jealousy? I thought you said you were jealous of my hanging out with Sayori. Or you weren't jealous of my hanging out with Sayori before. Didn't you just say you were only jealous of her personality and our close relationship itself? Yes, I did. Then is there something more that you're upset about? If you have a problem, just tell me. Stop beating around the bush or I'll never get what you want to say. Do you know how difficult it is for me to tell people how I'm feeling? I spent the past decade or so of my life suppressing my outwardly shown emotions. But you can try, can't you? This is me trying, Midas. I just communicate more subtly. Okay, how about you try communicating unsubtly then? You don't get it. The difficulty I have in speaking about these things. It's almost as if something physically is blocking my throat. That's just your own thoughts in your head making you feel that way though, right? Just get it over with and blurt out your inner thoughts like ripping off a band-aid. No, that's a very, very poor thing to say, Midas. I know you can do it, Yuri. With all the respect, Midas, I didn't even tell you about my self-harm on my own accord. It was purely by accident that you found out. Even so, it felt better after you talked to me about it, right? Yes, but... So tell me. Just tell me. What's bothering you? I can't help you if you don't know what's going on. He doesn't reply. The sudden strange silence feels more uncomfortable by the second. Yuri... I sigh inwardly. I hate apologizing for things that aren't my fault. I'm sorry, okay? I know you feel so... No, you don't! How can you possibly know what it feels like this way, Midas? You constantly consider yourself an embarrassment? You know what it feels like to have people feel nothing but pity towards you? To have people see you as a freak? Well... No, but... That's precisely my point. Alright. Jeez, I get it. Just because I don't have specific problems, it doesn't mean that I don't have my own ones to deal with, you know? Everyone around us has their own demons. So stop acting like it's only you. No. That's the final nail in this coffin. I'm pretty sure about this one this time. I wince as soon as the words leave my mouth. They sounded a lot less harsh in my head. How can that be less harsh? That was very, very harsh of us. The look of deep hurt on Yuri's face prompts me to quickly try and undo the damage that's been unleashed. We can't undo it. We really can't. I really rub my forehead with my hands. It's just really frustrating being told that my problems don't matter, you know. She didn't even say that! That's not what I said. Like, how would you feel if I did this stuff? I used to talk to you about my negativity I was feeling towards you and cut myself. I'd feel like I deserve it. Did she really just say that? I expected her to get angry and lash out, not provide such a self-deprecating remark. Deserve? Let's be honest, Midas. I'm an awful girlfriend. I have to force myself not to roll my eyes aside in exasperation. Yuri seizes on my silence and carries on with her deprecative tirade. I hide things from you. You're always doing nice things for me. What thoughtful things have I done for you, Midas? She doesn't even let me answer as she forcefully carries on. You organized a lovely day out for Valentine's, and I couldn't even return the favor for White Day. Here we are, acting like it's just any other normal day. All because I couldn't even organize something romantic for us. It's another pathetic trait of mine that I'll never be able to shake, no matter how much I will it away. Her breathing is going faster and faster and her tone is becoming more and more venomous. The feeling of being unable to reach her when she stands in front of me is unbelievably demoralizing. I'm trying to be the perfect girlfriend for you. I really am. I thought that by making love— oh no. Wait. This was what he was saying. To the guy who said this to me on Reddit. Props to you, because I think this is what we were trying to say. I thought by making love to you that would help. After all, it seems like that's the only thing I can provide you. Wait, what? Back up a second there, Yuri. What exactly do you mean by that? She basically means that the only thing she can provide to us is her body. Which is very, very sharp. Please don't tell me like you felt you had to have sex with me. She doesn't even know what to say. Confirm my yes. Silence is just as damning and confirming my fear. I thought it was what I had to do. You said you wanted to. I wanted to please you. I ran my hands through my face. It's like everything that was going so well mere moments ago is suddenly being flipped on its own head. No. Yuri, you don't have to be perfect. Why didn't you just say something? If you weren't comfortable, that's all you had to say. But of course that isn't easy for her, is it? I'm sorry. I know I should have said something. I don't know what to say. My mind is still trying to process what I'm hearing. Things really haven't been going as well as I thought they were. With my face in my hands, I hear Yuri get up and walk away from me. Where are you going, Yuri? No, you're not fooling me this time. Those eyes are not gonna fool me. I need the bathroom. Instantly, my mind flashes back to the last time I saw her in the bathroom. The razor, gasp of pain, the vicious jagged cuts on her forearms, the very arm that she's clutching right now. Yuri, don't. I can't help it. Yuri runs from the room, already starting to push up her sleeves. Run after her! In panic, I follow her. Even just from the glimpses I catch from behind her, I'm afforded a sight I wish I didn't have to see. A crisscross of gashes, each with a different state of healing. Although most look scabed over, a few smaller ones look a little more fresh, as I can just make out little specks of blood leaking from the wound. It's heartbreaking to see. I grab her shoulder when I catch up to her and I stop her in her tracks. To my surprise, however, Yuri begins scratching at her wrist. Grab her hand! An action which catches me off guard as I was expecting her to pull out a blade of some sorts. This is the first time I've actually seen her in the act. It's a sight like nothing I've ever seen before. Grab her hand! Positively rips and tears at her arm, raking her nails down at her skin and leaving angry red streaks in her wake. Dark red dots of blood spot are her scratch marks. The raw, visceral nature of her desperate scratching frightens me. It's almost as though she's trying to destroy all the progress she's put into healing, just to leave ugly reminders of her flaws behind. Ugly. This is the first time I've associated that word with Yuri. But no amount of bleeding that her scars are beautiful would change the fact that they're frankly the opposite. I'm struck by a pang of guilt at the thought. Should I be thinking about self-harm like this? But I shouldn't act like I'm blind to the scars, right? Then just try to stop her. Either way, that's all irrelevant in the moment. I've got to concentrate on Yuri. What are you doing? She doesn't reply, instead opting to tear away scabs with her fingernails. Yuri! What? What are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? There's a sharp, biting edge to her tone. Did you think that cutting was the only way I could do self-harm? Yeah. Yuri, please. Just stop, please. In desperation, I grab out to reach her arm. However, she quickly wrenches it out of my grip and jumps aside. Her scratching continues more furiously than ever. All of my instincts are screaming at me to intervene, but every time I step towards her, she shies away. As the scratching carries on, the expression on her face slowly grows more relaxed. It's awful that knowing the only thing causing her to relax is the pain she's inflicting onto herself. Eventually, the scratching comes to an end. A slow trickle of blood down her wrist matches the slow trickle of tears down her face. My brain is trying to process what I just witnessed. Yuri's self-harm. Needless to say, it's not doing a very good job. Silence falls between us. What am I even meant to say? I told you I was a freak. You have to get you some help for this, Yuri. This really can't carry on. Yuri snorts at my statement. What? Do you think I know that it's... Do you think I don't know that it's bad? If you know it, then why do you keep doing this? Is this going to happen every time we have an argument? I can't. I can't help but feel anger as those two words resound through my head. Why not? How would you even know? This is making me really... It feels painful. You haven't even tried. This could have been avoided if I just did what, Midas? Therapy isn't some magical fairy tale fix. I've already told you that it's not that easy for me. Yet you seem to continually forget in your self-righteous lectures. Lectures? That's what you think these are? I mean, how would you like it if I cut and scratch myself bloody? How'd you feel? How would you like it if I turned my arms into an ugly mess? Silence. I didn't even realize I was breathing heavily until now. And worst of all, the distressed look on Yuri's face tells me that, for the first time tonight, I might have just crossed the line. Wordlessly, she quickly yanks her sleeve down and pushes past me. With heartbreaking realization, I quickly see the fresh tears are now leaking down her face once more. Yuri, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, I desperately reach out for her again, but she whirls around at my touch, wearing an expression that honestly terrifies me. I mean, in those eyes, I think it's hard to not be terrified. I don't want to hear it. Her expression, the line, the delivery, the tone. Out of reflex, I shrink back. She storms out of the corridor. Distantly, I can hear her making her way out of my house. The slam of the door makes me wince. And so I'm left here, still trying to figure out what just happened. I slowly make my way back to the kitchen, bits and pieces of our argument flashing through my mind. The food's still on the table. If you just walked into the house, you would never have suspected that such a scene had taken place just moments before. It looked like warm, delicious food now appears slimy and cold to me. As I slump down into a chair, I can't help but worry about what Yuri's going to do when she gets back home. As long as she's not dead, we still have a chance. I should have gone after her. Then run! I should have done anything but let her go. Well, I say that, but in reality, I know I could have done that much. What was I supposed to do? Imprison her in my house? Physically restrain her until her impulses abated? If I had done that, I don't know if she would ever forgive me. I don't want to out her to anyone else without her permission, so I don't think I should tell our friends or mom. Would calling the police be an overreaction? If she were contemplating suicide, I would call, but didn't she say a long time ago that she specifically wasn't suicidal? That's at least one good thing. At least. Should I trust her words and leave her be? We just established that she doesn't necessarily tell me everything though. That doesn't mean she'd lie to me though, right? With a sudden rush of adrenaline, I whip out my phone and call Yuri. Please pick up. The dial tone seems to mock me as it endlessly rings. No answer. Shit. I try again, and again, and again, but there's still no answer. Feeling a pit of despair settling in my stomach, I opt to leave a pleading voicemail in the end. But it was foolish to expect a reply, wasn't it? Unable to bear the sight of our white-day dinner any longer, I stumbled into the living room and slumped down onto the sofa. Although I full well that this is a pointless endeavor, I still reach out for the TV remote and flick on the television, desperately trying to find something to try and take off my mind of the night's events. I can almost sense the restless night coming up. Damn it. Just when I thought life was getting good, I really went in and jinxed it, didn't I? I just hope Yuri and I can talk things over soon. Another day. It's been a few days since Yuri and I had our argument. She never once returned my calls or texts, which makes me really scared that I've truly caused some irreparable damage. Still, it's a school day today, so at least there we'd be able to talk. Assuming she doesn't bunk off. She wouldn't. Refusing to entertain that thought, I begin my morning routine. Shortly after my walk, I noticed a familiar face, although not quite the one I was hoping for. Not now, Sayuri. Not now. Hi, Midas. Hey, Sayuri. What are you doing here? She frowns at my question as if I'd ask her something stupid. What do you mean? This is the route I take to school, silly. It's just surprising to seeing you up this early, that's all. He shrugs nonchalantly. But you know what this means, right? We can walk to school together. I try my best to sound enthusiastic, at least for Sayori's sake. Yeah, let's do it. It probably didn't work. Midas? Is everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? I just had a little feeling that something was bothering you, that's all. Compared to the last time we hung out, you don't seem as happy. I glance over at her, there's a spark of curiosity looking behind her eyes, but there's no denying the comforting smile on her face. Maybe it'd be a good idea to get some outside perspective? I chuckled to myself. You've always been good at reading, Sayori. It's about Yuri, isn't it? Got it in one. She pauses, looking thoughtful. We had an argument. I'm not really sure what to do now. I tried calling her after she stormed out, but she never replied. And this was during Friday evening. Oh my goodness. So, it's been quite a while. She didn't notice it for the whole weekend. So it's Monday now and she hasn't still spoken to you yet? I nod. Sayori pauses, looking thoughtful. What did you guys argue about? I can't really say. It's not really my place to. But that makes sense. It was pretty personal. That's okay, Midas. I understand that you guys have your personal stuff to deal with. But what should I do? Should I let her come to me? I don't want it to be overbearing, but at the same time it's killing me that I can't talk to her. Sayori pats my shoulder sympathetically. And I'm kinda limited with how much I can help. I know it must be really frustrating being asked for help and yet I can't even tell you what's going on. It's okay. To be honest, I'm not surprised that Yuri chose to spend time by herself after the fight. After all, everyone knows how introverted she is, and introverts really like their own space. So you're saying I should leave her be? You've already tried calling her a few times, right? So she'll know that you're obviously concerned for her. Maybe you should just let her come to you when she's comfortable doing so. Is that what you'd do if you were me? I think so, yeah. But I've never been in a relationship before, so I don't really know all this girlfriend and boyfriend stuff. Believe me, Sayori, neither do I. What does your heart tell you? I don't know about my heart, but my brain is definitely telling me that it's confused. Why can't my organs just get along? She giggles. You shouldn't worry, Midas. You're such a nice and caring guy. I'm sure Yuri will come around eventually. I hope so. onto something less depressing. Mom came home a few days ago. Ooh, I bet that must be lovely. She's been away for a while, if I remember, right? Yeah. She's been gone since late August. So it's been a long time since I've physically seen her. How is she? Still the same? Yeah, her motherly instincts never go away. Still feels really guilty about leaving me for so long. The rest of the conversation thankfully isn't as depressing. Doesn't take long for Sayuri to reminisce about the good old days. But it just doesn't feel right. I can't fully immerse myself. Not when there's too much in the present to focus on. And that's where we'll call it for today, everyone. I'd encourage you to do some extra reading on the topic. Build up on the Second World War had many a contributing factor. Who knows? Maybe you'll find it as interesting as I do. With a self-deprecating smile, he laughs and heads for the door. I might just take him up on after school. But for now, I can only listen to the gurgling sounds of my stomach. As I step through the door, I see all the other club members. Sir is chatting animatedly with Natsuki, while Monica is scribbling something on a notepad. God, where's Yuri? On the other hand, Yuri looks like she's a million miles away. She idly pokes at her food. I take a seat next to her. My heart started thumping the moment I saw her again, and now that I'm physically right next to her, the thumping grows stronger. I'm not sure how to approach her, the others are around, and I don't imagine she'd want to cause a scene, so I just opt for a direct approach. Hey Yuri. I knew it. She won't like this. She jumps a little. Clearly I was right about her being mentally preoccupied. Hi! She doesn't say anything more than that. An awkward silence fills the air, judging by the curious look on the other girls. It's clear that it's not gone unnoticed. Well, I hope the girls can somehow help us. You okay? You're not a million miles away. Got a book on your mind? No, this isn't going to help. Yes. Sayuri looks sympathetically towards me, while Monica and Natsuki narrow their eyes. The tension between Yuri and I grows more and more apparent by the second. I don't know what to say or to do. With everyone else being aware of something amiss between Yuri and I, it feels a million times worse. Help me, guys! And that Yuri doesn't want to talk to me. It's been a few days already. Thankfully, Monica reads the situation and throws me an escape. So Yuri mentioned that your mom came back last week, Midas. It's proving to be a real mental struggle to focus on Monica. Yeah, she did. And what? She rolls her eyes. How can we feel comfortable talking? I mean, if you get my situation, then try to be easy on me. How is it? You know, seeing her again? Oh, I looked at Yuri again. She's still turned away. The tension is growing by the second. It's nice having her back. You got to catch up. And she got to meet Yuri, which I think both of them enjoyed. She's really nice, isn't she, Yuri? Yes, she is. And oh my god, her cooking is to die for. I really miss it. You know, things are bad and even Sayori's cheerfulness can't fix the situation. You know, you could just come over again, right? She'd be more than happy to cook for you. No, this is you shouldn't really rub our relationship with Sayori into Yuri. In fact, I think she mentioned that how she wanted to catch up with you and your family again. So that'll work out nicely. Really? Oh, I might take you up on that, Midas. Although it would be kind of weird seeing her again. I mean, it's been how many years since I've seen her? 4 or 5? Wow, has it really been that long? Yup. Time really flies, huh? Tell me about it. It's crazy to think that it's already March. The Christmas party we had feels like yesterday. Well, none of us are getting any younger. Might as well make the most of our time together, don't you think? That's such a Sayori line, Monica. Your vice president is really rubbing off on you. Hey, she's not wrong though. Our third year is coming up soon, and that's our last one. And who knows what that'll be like. Stressful, probably. No kidding. Although the conversation is flowing just fine between us, Yuri's lack of contribution remains painfully obvious. Every now and again, one of us would sneak concerned glances at her direction, but no one really wants to say anything. I know something's up between Yuri and I, and while they're concerned, they probably don't want to get involved in something personal between us two. Still, the bell rings and we start packing away. I can't help but cling on to the hope that Yuri would be a little more receptive when it comes to the club meeting. I hope. Wait, I accidentally clicked. The last few sessions went by unbearably slowly. Finally, the bell sounds, signaling what feels like the final opportunity of the day I'll get to talk to Yuri. I shake my head. That sounded ridiculous. I can just talk to her anytime. Not in this situation, Midas. Or can I? Okay, everyone. I've been doing some thinking over the weekend and I had an idea I'd like to try out. Part of what makes us grow as poets is stepping out of our comfort zone and trying out new things. Something everyone did really well when we wrote Halloween poems. So this time, I'd like everyone to take one of these. She pulls out a bunch of what looks like small blank strips of paper out of her bag. What are these? Each strip has a theme written on the other side. The one you choose will be the one you have to write a poem about. Ooh, and it could be literally anything? Uh-huh. Does anyone want to go first? I'll do it. Sari steps forward and takes a strip. Flipping it over, she reads whatever's written. A thoughtful look crosses her features. Well, this'll be interesting. The rest of us follow suit. Each strip elicits a different response. Mine happens to be central. Of course I had to get thrown into the deep end. Can you work with someone else? Don't even try to talk with Yuri at the moment. I think that's a bad idea. Of course. See, my change is enough for me to say that I'm right. Collaboration should make this even more insightful. Have fun, guys. She turns back to her desk, pen in hand. Hey Yuri, you mind if we work together? You know, since we're like... I'm sorry, Midas, but I need to know... No, you get back here. You're not using the bathroom. If you need to use the bathroom, you might as well pee in a bottle. That line of forever caused my anxiety level to shoot through the roof. I mean, we can't really chase after her, but I feel like that's the only thing we can do. She stands up and stiffly moves for the door, picking at her sleeves as she does so. I can't just sit there and let her cut herself. But how am I going to excuse myself so it doesn't look suspicious? We can't. Precious seconds tick by. Do something, Midas! I must be showing a lot of concern on my face as Sayori and Natsuki are looking at me strangely. Are you okay, Midas? You're looking kinda weird. And you know the situation is very bad when the tsundere gets all carrying all of a sudden. Monica puts her pen down and joins in. Could be pulling out a knife right now. What's going on? Yuri just said she had to use the bathroom and now Midas looks really worried. Is everything okay, Midas? You could all feel the tension between you two at lunch. She's rolling up her sleeve while you sit there like an idiot. I'll be back in a sec. I don't even bother finishing my sentence as I pull to my feet and head for the door. Run, Midas, run! Wait! My mind is in a frenzy as I hurriedly make my way to the bathroom. Why now? This is so much harder when she doesn't talk to me. Well, here it is, the girls' bathroom. No time to pause before going inside. Oh, social norms be damned. I'm gonna bust into the girls' bathroom. And immediately I'm hit by a sight that never gets any easier to see. At least it's bandaged. But it's fresh, so... I guess... No, not alright. Yuri immediately looks up. Can't tell what's worse, the ashamed look on her face with the freshly soaked bandage on her arm. And I think that's not soaked with water. For a moment we just stand there looking at each other. She hastily slips her sleeve over the bandage. The damage has already been done. Yuri, look at me. Please. The seconds stretched on. It was like her defiance to meet my eyes. Am I... While I'm desperately trying to unscramble my fervent brain, I hear the door open. Thankfully, it's only Sayori. Midas? Yuri? Wait, Midas, what are you doing here? This is the girls' bathroom. I wish I could explain to you what I'm trying to do, but I can't. Damn it, Sayori, did you really have to come in now? Your timing couldn't be any worse. I know. I was just... I look over at Yuri, avoiding the both of us. Yuri, are you okay? I'm fine. Are you sure? You look really upset. I'll be okay, thank you. Do you want to talk about it? No, thank you. I appreciate the offer, but I just need some time alone. And of course, there it is. The withdrawal. Those walls she'll never learn to break out of. I'm beginning to tear up. I feel a light tug on my sleeve. Come on, Midas. What? You should head back to the club. She can't be serious. I angrily gesture towards Yuri. Midas, can't you see that she needs some space right now? Besides, the other girls are worried about you. I must have seen how unwilling I was as she sighs and turns to Yuri. Would you come back to the club when you're feeling up to it, Yuri? Wordlessly, Yuri nods. Can't help if I believe. I'm not sure if I believe her, but unfortunately I can't exactly object right now. Another defeated, worried sigh. I let Yuri take me out to the bathroom. And back toward the club room. As soon as we re-enter, Monica and Natsuki jump up. Confusion and suspicion echoed over their faces. You're back! Mind telling us what was that about, Midas? What's with Yuri? Not really my place to say. Can you please just leave it at that? I'm not really in the mood to discuss it any further. I'm sure Yuri feels the same. I think we should just get on with our poems for now, guys. I give her a small, appreciative smile. Sayori's knack for reading the situation has always been one of her strengths. Monica and Natsuki don't particularly look satisfied, but wordlessly comply with Sayori's suggestion. I mean, what else can we do? After a while, Yuri quietly steps back to the classroom. Her head is bowed and she's trying to look as inconspicuous as possible. She takes her seat and returns to her poem, but not before a game of eyebrow tennis starts between Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica. Everything okay, Yuri? Yes. Apologies for my earlier behavior. It's okay. Don't you worry about it. As she says that, Monica and Natsuki are inquisitive looks my way. I motion towards Yuri and shake my head. Tension still remains, but eventually all the club members return to writing their poem. Thank God. This music isn't gonna save the situation. Okay, everyone. She checks her watch. I think that's pretty much all the time we have, so we'll have to call it here. Feel free to carry on working with your poem at home if you didn't finish. With that, everyone starts packing up their things. Of course, Yuri hurries away. As I'm putting my poem into my bag, I notice Yuri immediately heads out, walking out of the door. Yuri, wait! I scramble after her, but she's quickly disappearing from sight. Every step she takes feels like another mile between us. I'm still trying to comprehend the drastic change in our tone of our relationship has taken. Did I really miss all of the signs? Ah, this feels so heavy. How was I meant to know that she just felt pressured to have sex? And more importantly, how am I meant to fix this if she refuses to talk to me? Kick the wall out of frustration, but she does absolutely nothing except give me a sickening surge of pain in my toe. Midas? Yuri just kicked the wall? No, I was playing soccer with myself. What do you think? A look of hurt flashes across her face. I was only trying to help. Sorry. Wait, now I have a lovely bit of guilt to accompany the pain in my foot. This isn't really feeling well. I wince slightly as I reply. Sorry. I know you are. It's okay, I know you're just upset with all this Yuri stuff. You want to talk, but we walk home together. Sayuri's smiles are capable of melting even the most grouchy of hearts. I don't know if I'll be very good company. Don't you worry about it. I don't mind in the slightest. Besides, I never pass up an opportunity to cheer someone up. And if they want to talk to me, that is. Alright then, let's go. The walk back is quiet. Sayuri tries to engage me in conversation at first, but stops when she realizes that it's futile. Guess we're here. Later, Sayuri. Oh wait! Want me to walk you back to your house? I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes at her. My house is like a minute away, you can see it from here. I'm not gonna drop dead the time it takes to walk over there. I know, but Midas, I'm just really worried about you. Something bad happened to you. I don't know what I'd do. Too late for something bad to not happen to me. It's fine, Sayuri. Thanks for thinking about me, I guess. Right now, I kinda just want to think things over. Okay, I get it. But if things get really serious, promise that you'll talk to someone, alright? You really shouldn't keep things bottled up. Well, it's too late for that. Things have already been serious for a while now. Alright, I promise. If you need anything, let me know. You're like my second mom. But if I'm your mom, I gotta make sure I take good care of you. Okay. I'm gonna get going now. Thanks again. Bye, Midas. See you tomorrow. Despite Sayuri's cheerful talk, I find my mood taking a dive again once I'm away. Don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for a friend like Sayuri, but I don't think I'm gonna get cheered up that easily. Although with that Sayuri distracting me, thoughts of Yuri are once again filling my head. What am I supposed to do in this situation? I don't want to be too clingy or forceful, but maybe the situation calls for it. Maybe I should give her space for now, like Sayuri told me to do the other time. Seriously developing a headache from all of this. I'm just going to let Yuri be for the rest of the day, then talk to her no matter what tomorrow at school. If she even is at school. With any luck, nothing goes wrong between now and then. Once again, I'm rudely pulled out of a warm, comfortable snooze by the invasive blaring of my alarm on my phone. I really aren't in the mood to get to school. Still half asleep, I fumble for the offending item and slam the alarm off, but the damage has already been done. Ugh. My brain wastes no time reminding me of what happened yesterday, both at lunch and during the club meeting. Wonderful. Starting a day in a bad mood is perhaps the worst way to start it. Mom. Good morning. I give a non-committal grunt in reply. Mom looks from her coffee. The surprised look on her features. I mean, we're usually happy, so... Plus, motherly instincts. She knows we're not in the very good mood. Good to see you as well, Midas. I'm not a morning person, Mom. You know that. Fortunately, not even Sayori was really able to cheer me up yesterday after school. She really tried, but I just couldn't get Yuri off my mind. Mom is silent as she studies me. There's no way I'd be able to hide the fact that I'm in a bad mood, so I mentally prepare myself for a flurry of questions. You don't seem so chipper today. What's wrong, honey? Nothing. She sighs to herself. I can read you like a book, Midas. It's Yuri, isn't it? That was very fast of you, Mom. I was expecting like somewhere she'd guess around my grades or something, but okay. Motherly instincts, very strong. How did... Just call it motherly intuition. What happened? Midas, I can't help you unless you let me. Ah. We used to say that, now it's being set upon us. I'm really not in the mood to delve into it. Her tone is gentle as she speaks. I understand that you're upset, but please don't bottle things up. Communication is the most important aspect of any Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I have to get going. I don't want to be late. Snatching a piece of toast and ramming it in my mouth, I head out to the kitchen, doing my best to avoid what I can only assume is a disappointed look on Mom's face. That was pretty rude of us, so I guess her being disappointed is a given. Boarding lessons are feeling such a drag. I'm finding it harder and harder to concentrate. My mind keeps focusing on questions I'd rather not be asked. Such as, have I caused irreversible damage with Yuri? We're not over, are we? I hope not. I once I go over the things I said to her on Friday evening, calling her arms an ugly mess. Seeing her scratch herself like that, it was scary. I can only imagine what it would look like. Of course, I'd be more liable to panicking than saying something stupid. The look on Yuri's face serves as a chilling reminder that boundaries were definitely crossed that day. Lunch bell rings. As at least spending time with the girls might take my mind off it. Not for a little while. As I enter the club, I immediately notice that both Yuri and Monica aren't in. Monica is fairly hit or miss given how busy her schedule is. Yuri? Feeling that something is amiss starts to bubble up. Or could she be... Hey Midas? Hi. Just us today? Yeah, it looks like it. Unless Monica shows up, which wouldn't surprise me. Either of you have seen Yuri? Natsuki and Sayori exchange looks. There's no denying the look of concern on both of their faces. No, we thought you might know. Didn't you saw the situation yesterday? We aren't cool. I shrug. Bad chance of that. You've seen how little she's been talking to me recently. I've been worried about her ever since I saw her in the bathroom yesterday. Natsuki narrows her eyes at me. What are you looking at me for? I feel just as guilty as... Whoever, I just feel very bad. Yeah, what's up with that? You never told us. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way. Anyway guys, I think we should go and find her. What do you guys think? I know she said she wanted to be alone yesterday, but... Let's do it. Come on. Hey, wait for me! I'll take the girls' bathrooms. Natsuki, check her homeroom. Yeah, sure. I'll try the courtyard and the roof then. With our hastily made plans, we each set off for our separate destination. Despite my best efforts, I'm not finding any luck finding her. Although this doesn't surprise me. To be honest, the only place I could imagine her being right now would be the girls' toilets. Sayori, please. I hope she's there. Trying to quell the disquiet in my stomach, I head for the roof. Just as I thought. Empty. With a heavy heart, I head back downstairs. Any luck? Sayori shakes her head dejectedly. Maybe she didn't come in today. Yeah, she didn't. One of her classmates told me. Just as long as she's alright at home. And again, that could be cutting. Midas, couldn't you have just called her? You say that like she'd actually respond to me. Huh? Something real bad went down between you two, didn't it? I don't answer. Don't worry, guys. He's probably just feeling sick or something. Yuri isn't the kind to skip school. Sayori's right. Yuri isn't a true one by any means. Which means she is ill or... Lunch bell rings, but it sounds like a million miles away. Dimly I'm aware of Sayori and Natsuki talking. I'll see you two at the club, okay? Natsuki mutters something that I don't catch. Yeah, I have no intention of sticking around for the rest of the school day, let alone the literature club meeting. We're gonna dash to Yuri's place? Yep. Taking a deep breath, I knock on the front door. Please open, please open, please open. Seconds that pass feel like hours. Nothing. Abandoning the diplomatic approach, I pound on the door much harder. Each knock reflects the desperation I'm feeling. This hurts. Nothing. Disappointment and worry flare up, both as strong as the other. I restlessly pace on the spot, pondering my options. While breaking in is tempting, even I know that's way over the top. I mean, shit did broke in our house when we were sick, so I guess I calls it quits then? I don't know. Check my phone knowing full well I won't have any messages or calls from her. I should have been proven correct. It's only 1:18, so I can't get home yet. Mom would flip if she knew I was ditching school. I guess my best bet is to just sit tight for a couple of hours. Yeah, that's a pretty bad plan. Unfortunately, it's all I have right now. And yet a few hours later, still no luck. What, is she just watching me through that glass? That's gonna hurt. My stomach gurgles and I can really feel the stiffness in my joints from having sat down for so long. But of course, nothing from Yuri. I gaze towards the door. Who knows what Yuri's been doing? Well, if she's even inside, I could call the police and ask for a welfare check. Seems a little drastic though. As if she's fine and doesn't want to talk, I'm pretty sure police intervention would just make things even worse. That is, they can get any worse. With a surge of anger, I smash the door one more time. Much like kicking the wall, achieves nothing except a white-hot pain in my fist. My stomach gurgles again as a wave of bitter frustration rolls over me once more. I just wasted hours of my life for absolutely nothing. A girlfriend who won't even speak to me. I shake my head. When it come to this... God, I'm feeling so bad. Ouch. Midas? What? Mom gestures to the toast I'm half-heartedly trying to eat. You need to eat. You don't want to be late for school. I'm not hungry. She sighs quietly. I know you're upset, sweetheart. But you can't stay like this forever. I'm sure that whatever's going on between you and Yuri will get better. I really hope so, Mom. This is just the nature of teenage love, I'm afraid. Anyway, shouldn't you be going now? I really look up at the clock. He's right. I'll see you later then. Bye, Midas. Have a good day. In spite of myself, I find myself walking towards Yuri's house. I know I'll likely just get ignored again, but a part of me tells me that I'd have to at least try. School can wait. Here we are. Dark red door, the dark red barrier. Yuri hides behind. Yuri? Here I am, calling out to the door, trying to shake off how ridiculous this must look. I press on. Look, I know things aren't right between us. I nearly snored after I realized what I just said. It must have been an understatement of the century. But please, just talk to me. I'm worried about you, you know? Especially after I found you in the girls' bathroom. Please? Yuri, I know you're there. And I know you're home at least. Although there's a good chance that you're in your bedroom and I'm not talking to no one at all. My voice cracks a bit with emotion. Yuri, I'm begging you. Please hear me. Please be okay. I just want you to be happy. Yuri. Nothing. I sigh and close my eyes, slumping down against the door. I was an idiot for thinking this would have gone any differently. The question is, do I commit an entire day to waiting here? Or do I cut my losses and... Yes! Soft sound of a click at the door slowly cracking opening jolts me back to my feet. Through the slightly ajar doorway, I can see a very unsure-looking Yuri. For a moment, it's just silence between us. Silence that actually feels very, very awkward. Can I come in? Wordlessly, she looks down, biting her lip. In my mind's eye, I can practically see her receding back behind her shell again. That shell I thought I'd helped crack for good. Or we could just talk here if you're not comfortable letting me in. Honestly, I'll take whatever I can at this point. At my words, Yuri nods and slowly swings the door open. That's at least one good thing that happened today. I can hardly dare to believe she's even talking to me again. On paper it sounds ridiculous. Who would eternally celebrate talking to their girlfriend again? Maybe me? Considering how bad this situation is? But after everything that's happened, it just goes to show the severity of the situation. So, nervously jamming my hands in my pocket to struggle to get some words out of my mouth. Anything to break this awkward silence. But I don't even know where to start. There are so many things I feel like I should say. The weight of the argument feels like it's weighing even heavier on my shoulders right now. She's looking at me with an expression both expectant and sad. Neither of us know how to make the first move. Have you been? And of course I opened with such a stupid question. I mean, anything at this point. I've been okay. More silence. I see. That's good. It's almost laughable. She can't really think that I believe she's been okay, right? But here it comes again, my damn sarcastic side. Midas, you're going to have to make sure you don't accidentally snap at Yuri. Lord knows when the next time I'll get to talk to her will be. Funny how my emotions fluctuate so violently nowadays. At least when it comes to Yuri. From guilt and sadness to anger and frustration. My mind's been scrambled since our last fight. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to say. There's just so much we have to talk about that I don't know how to start. Same here. Yeah. Come on, Midas, just talk to her. I wish we could go back in time to how we used to be. I miss being with you, Yuri. And I'm so worried about you. There's happy times when we could just chat and giggle over nothing. I'd give anything to go back to those times. Well, at least you have Sayori to do all that with. Why are you bringing her into this? She's totally irrelevant to what's been going on between us. Sorry, I meant this. Regardless of what happens, you'll always be able to return to her. I feel like you've already made up your mind about this. Seems as though you resigned yourself to never changing and just breaking up. Please tell me I'm wrong. It's hard to talk about these matters. I know it's hard. You think I don't know that? But if we want to fix things, we have to talk. I know. If you know, then why have you been ignoring me for an entire week? Despite my efforts to remain calm, I feel my temper flaring up again. I just wanted to talk to you. Somehow solve our problems together. I'm not really angry, I just feel very sad. But how am I supposed to do that if you don't communicate with me? Our relationship can't be saved if it's just me working on it. How do you think it makes me feel? Look, I know you have your problems that are probably outside of the realm of my comprehension. A hint of sarcasm begins to unwillingly creep into my words. But all this stuff is seriously affecting my own mental health too. My feelings aren't invalidated because you may have more difficult problems to deal with, right? I never said... Yes, you might not have intended to. But sometimes I feel like implications like that weigh down on me. So come on, Yuri. If I can talk about these things that I've never told about anyone else before, why can't you? Okay, I know you're probably unsure of what to say first, so how about we start with the argument? Could you tell me your side of it? What did I say that upset you much? I feel like I'm being too aggressive now, but I can't help it. It's as though I have to get answers out of her while I still can. You won't understand. Have you not been listening to a thing I said? How am I supposed to understand if you're not helping me to see your perspective? Midas. She looks down, fiddling with a strand of her hair. I can't. You what? I can't deal with this right now. What are you talking about? If you can't understand this, how am I supposed to explain why the things you said were hurtful? And again, with the lack of communication. Have you even heard yourself? Do you know how much you've been pushing me in this conversation? Look, I'm sorry if I'm being kind of a blunt right now. But what else am I supposed to do? You've already tried giving you space and playing the good cop, so you can't blame me for trying to be more assertive this time. I wouldn't call this being assertive. No? Then what would you call this then, huh? Yuri, just forget about social constraints and politeness for a moment. Even if your honest feelings are gonna hurt me, I want to hear them. If you believe politeness is the only thing stopping me from talking, then you must not know me as well as you thought. Huh? But that's besides the point. Okay, but I'm serious when I say that you can lay it on me. Midas, just tell me what you're thinking already. Can you stop attacking me for 1 second? Attacking? I'm sorry it feels like I'm attacking you, but it's the only thing that seemed to work so far. What do you want me to do then? Just say not say anything? I want you to do what you have been doing all along. And what's that? That is until our argument. But I clearly didn't make too big of a difference acting that way. All this time we're trying to gently nag you to open up. And to go to therapy. And to actually do something to fix your problems. But look at where we are now. So you're finally showing your true face. What do you mean? I should have known that no one could be that kind and patient towards me. All this time you've just been a fair weather friend, or should I say boyfriend. What do you want about now? Can't handle our relationship unless everything is happy. Back then you'd let me believe that you'd support me no matter what. Even though you knew I was getting bullied, even though you found out how much of a freak I am. Everything was just a lie, I guess. All you want to do is dump me at the therapist's office to cure me. That's not totally what I was trying to say at all. And are you going to forget about everything I've done out of love for you? I helped you do things like deliver books at school countless times. To mention all the times I helped you talk to the cashiers with strangers. And don't forget the calls I've made for you too. Every single time I tried to support you and have your back. Even during the times when you were wrong. I stood beside you to thick and thin. I've had to think of dozens of pep talks on the spot. All that just to help you feel better about everything. Yuri looks down, almost unable to meet my eyes anymore. Some emotion, guilt, maybe shame, clouds the violets of her irises. And all about my talk about therapy. Well, what else am I meant to do here? Do you really think self-harm is something I'm experienced with? I only found out about your scars by accident. You haven't told me you haven't told the other girls or even your parents, so Midas, do not ever talk about my parents. It's kind of scary how I can almost tangibly feel Yuri's mood spike from bleak distress to anger. Still, I can't seem to stop myself from pressing on. Why not? Don't forget, I confronted you about that too. And you know what? If you didn't communicate with them, if they couldn't even help you, how am I supposed to do that? You know nothing about the relationship I had with them. You know, you were right. You're starting to believe that I don't know much about you either. I didn't even know why your argument happened in the first place. How hard this conversation turned into another argument. Scorn laces her voices as she snaps back at me. You know some of my darkest secrets, yet you're still not even gonna try to pronounce that. And insisting you know nothing about me? Yes, I am. Because apparently, nothing's changed since the very beginning. Our relationship is stagnant. All your problems are still running rampant. Our communication is still in shambles. We're supposed to be talking about this because it leads to solutions. At least it's meant to do that. Seek your self-harm. What would be your solution to that? You say therapy. Yeah, it is therapy. But surprise, surprise, you don't want to try it. Therapy isn't the magical fix that your naive, idealistic viewpoint leads to you. I think it is, Midas. I'm trying to push you to change for the better, Yuri. This is why we're never gonna fix our problems. In fact, that's probably why we're having fights lately. We barely talk about what's bothering you until it's way, way too late. You've adopted the worst way of dealing with your issues. And you just blatantly refuse to try a different method. How are you ever gonna get better? Do you even want to get better? I'm starting to think that you don't. You might not like it, but you're gonna have to do stuff you don't like if you want to change. You can't stay a coddled little girl forever. When are you going to grow up? Or when are you going to grow up and realize this? There's a moment of silence for a moment, and suddenly tears begin leaking out of Yuri's eyes. But despite the tears, there's a quiet fury in her voice. You're not going to be the one to fix me. She clenches her hands tightly in a fist, digging her fingernails into her palms hard enough to turn her nails white. Relations aren't a cure-all, and it's about time you got that through your head. And the fact that she swore. For a moment, I'm stunned at the silence. I've never heard Yuri swear before. The magnitude of the intensity behind her words makes me realize just how serious the situation really is. And if you think that, you're even more stupid than I thought. Without waiting for my reaction, she slams the door in my face with a surprising force. However, not even a loud slam at the door breaks me out of my stupor. As I stand numbly on the doorstep and waiting for my senses to slowly return, the hopelessness of the situation sinks in. I stare at the door, not even trying to fight off the waves of despair coursing through me. However, is it possible that things got even worse? How is it possible that once more I'm once again separated from Yuri by a physical barrier? The smooth brown hue of the door taunts me. The more I miserably stare at it, the more it feels like some sort of impenetrable fortress. The shock of being thrown out and hearing Yuri swear, which blunted the anger that I've been feeling, is quickly ebbing away, leaving only resentment in its wake. Yeah, that's right. Just close the door on me, because that'll really fix your problems, won't it? I bang furiously on the door once more, but this time there's complete silence. A silence that hugely contracts against the whirlwind in my head. It's almost funny how someone so eloquent and expressive with the languages is so god-awful at communicating, you know? But it'd be funny if it weren't so sad. And one last bang on the door, I turn on my heel and leave. Despite a sadistic part of me enjoying the verbal flurry I just threw at her, how are we even enjoying the situation? There's no denying the bitter aftertaste of my words. What's the point staying here though? With an annoyed sigh, I remember that I meant to be at school, which means home is a no-go for now. Guess I'll have to kill some time. I don't know why I chose this place in particular. My feet must have been guiding me and my brain just followed along as if it were an autopilot. The only thing I'm focusing on at the moment are the words. Well, more like the bullets that were fired between us just now. Pick up a rock and throw it as hard as I can. It's cathartic in a sense. Putting all of my energy into a physical action affords me a tiny bit of relief. All you want to do is dump me in the therapist's office to cure me. Is that really how she sees things? Half a year of getting to know her, dating her, only to be known that that's how callous she thinks I am? I pick up another rock and throw it as hard as I can, but this time, the sensation does little to quiet my anger. I'm trying here, Yuri. I'm trying my best. But you're not giving me anything to go off. How am I meant to know that I'm doing well? How to correct my wrongdoings if you straight up refuse to talk to me? How was I meant to know that you felt like you had to have sex? How am I meant to know anything at all? What even are we? This isn't how a boyfriend and girlfriend should act. It's sad. Right at the beginning of our relationship, I wondered about what we were. And now that it looks like the end of our relationship, here I am wondering the exact same thing again. Maybe things just blew over. Couples argue all the time, but this is very, very severe. They do, but I wince as I recall the quiet fury in her voice as she warned me not to talk about her parents. Deep down I know I overstepped some sort of boundary. Again, the question is, can I redeem myself? That question lingering over me throughout the day, even after I'm back at home.